Geordie Journo's back at St James's Park, where Newcastle United have just drawn. The winning streak, 2-game winning streak in the Premier League, is over with Tottenham Hotspur 2-2. They took the lead twice in the last 20 minutes, pegged back twice by 2 goals from Cristian Romero, including a 95th minute bicycle kick. Very frustrating evening at St James's Park, lads.
I'll let you go first.
Right, okay, so
You're more frustrated than me.
There was a bit of tension, I felt like, between me and you.
I should be in the middle, really.
Yeah.
I hope I've had time to calm down.
I haven't spoke since. This is.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't feel the passion you did. That's all right.
Yeah,
that's rare.
So
for you.
No, I'm actually quite calm about it. At the end of the day, I'm disappointed. Disappointed, but I don't think Newcastle played as badly as a lot of people are making out.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think they did. No, it doesn't matter. But they've played a lot worse this season. I don't feel like this is the blow a lot of people are making it out to be. I thought it was it's 2 points dropped. I think they're actually putting together, I think, the sequence of 4 games that they've put together now as a body of work. I can't really be too disappointed by the overall performances. I said that about Marseille. It was a loony moment from a goalkeeper that cost them that game. You could potentially argue that I think Aaron Ramsdale's let himself down a little bit for the last goal as well.
Yeah,
I've been calling for him to be into the team. However, I also would say, and I want to say it back again, is how does nobody react?
Goes through Malik Chow's legs. I think he'll be really disappointed not to get something on that. But
nobody reacted.
But I think he was distracted because he'd been in a tussle with Romero about 2 seconds earlier. So he's almost like getting himself back to his feet before he even sorted his feet out. And it was a proper P shot overhead kick, if that's even
but the bit is, it's Romero's on the floor, by the way.
Yes,
and he reacts quicker than anybody else. I think I seen Bruno Guimaraes talking after the game. I can't remember if it was Sky Sports or whoever it was. And he said that. He said, like, our players should be defending for their lives at this moment in time. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a clear dig at the whole lot of them. Because they didn't. They didn't react to that. And it's cost them 2 points. 2 points that were really, I think they'd done more than enough. You know, they didn't create a boatload of chances today, but they had chances, a couple off the line, and a couple of decent opportunities. I don't really feel as, like, obviously you were really angry at the end of the final whistle with it.
Frustrated, frustrated.
I'm disappointed that it was drop points, but I don't. I've been much more emotional at places like Brentford and West Ham, where I seen a bunch of players where I was like, what is going on here? That wasn't it today. That wasn't it for me. It was just a disappointing goal to concede in a game that probably just done enough to shade.
Yeah, look, if you offered us 7 points from games against Everton away, Spurs at home, Man City at home, I think all of us would have probably taken it. Absolutely. It's just the context of Newcastle of probably need to be clawing back points that they've dropped already this season. 11 points now from losing positions, more than any other team in the Premier League. Conceded 5 goals in the 90th minute or later. It's really frustrating, particularly the position they put themselves in tonight, scoring 2 goals in the last 20 minutes. Spurs scoring with only 2 shots on target, which, I mean, the first header is a good header. Dan Burn probably should do more. The second goal's a really soft goal, and that's the frustration. Newcastle played well to a point. They never really felt in control of the game after taking the lead, though, and I think that's what's really disappointing.
So I'm going to make a point on something you said there when you're talking about, like, the goals conceded at the end. There is a reoccurring theme with goals conceded at the end. It isn't just all round bad defending. I'm going to point towards the manager here a little bit, and it always seems to be the change of formation towards the end.
Yeah, Smiley came off.
Why does he keep changing to 5 at the back if it just invites the pressure? And when you've got 3 centre halves on, how can you not defend a set piece? They never defended a set piece all day. It was really actually. I've seen a lot of people in my comments on Twitter talking about saying, what's the set piece coach doing? I think they look a lot better at attacking set pieces now. Defensive ones, they're absolutely abysmal. I think I've seen this throughout the game, every corner that went in, I think they're going to concede. I mean, it might be the delivery, it might be good quality from Tottenham, fair enough. But I feel like that in most games.
Well, I mean, the goals have conceded recently. Arsenal was a corner kick. Man City was a corner kick. Tonight was a corner kick. It's just like switching off in proper key moments. I mean, when you get yourself in the lead, that's the biggest frustration for me, because you are sort of like trying to claw yourself back from a poor start. And when you take the lead twice at home, you should really be singing out. But this is almost like a new theme. Eddie Howe mentioned there, like, we're all talking about the away record, then they go win away from home. And now we're all talking about late goals and not holding on to leads. It just always seems to be a negative theme developing in Newcastle season, and they're trying to claw things back. And look, was the performance the worst of the year? I actually agree. I thought it was a decent performance, but it was just those moments where you shouldn't be conceding. Like it's really hard to criticise. It was all, can he stop the cross with kudos? For most of that, he pocketed him really, so I'm not going to dig him out. But it's just moments, can he stop the cross? You then got Dan Burn, who he allows Romero to get in between them. And then, of course, it's the corner kick as well, when Chow and Romero in a tussle. And it's, as I say, the weird bicycle kick, how it's ended up in the net.
There's about 6 or 7 bodies. All of them could have reacted. Nobody reacted. The bloke gets up off the deck and manages to pull off an overhead kick before anybody bothers their backside to move 5 yards and clear a ball. I thought was just really... What Newcastle didn't do defensively today was the basics.
Yeah.
Didn't do the basics that well. Because Tottenham didn't have to work hard to score the goals.
2 shots on goal,
they didn't play well.
2 shots
and
on
got a
goal.
That's the
result.
thing. They were against
disappointment.
as weak a Spurs team or as average a Spurs team as you're probably going to face. And Newcastle, again, playing well to a point makes it all the more frustrating. If the sort of performances were flipped and Newcastle were the ones sort of in Spurs' position, having not played well and still salvage a point from the game, we're probably a bit more positive because you go, look, they've sort of snatched a point from the jaws of defeat, whereas today it just feels like more points dropped at home from a position where they probably, we were saying even in the first half, be very disappointed if we didn't win this game.
I thought when it went ones each, I didn't think Newcastle would go on and win the game. I think the disappointment comes from the fact they've managed to somehow
They were
get
fortunate
themselves
as well.
fortunate. I didn't think it was a penalty, and people might disagree. If that had been given against Newcastle, I would be so disappointed.
I don't think it's an overturn. I think if the referee points to the spot, you go, yeah, the guy's Bentancur's not looking at Dan Burn and he drags him down. So yeah, can see why maybe the referee pointed to the spot. The fact he hasn't pointed to the spot, I don't think it's really clear and obvious for VAR to intervene. It's re-refereeing of the game, which we don't want to see.
No, it can be, but I've never had a problem with
Eddie
that.
Howe thought it was a penalty.
I think if it's a penalty, it gets given. If not, I'm not really bothered about the re-refereeing thing. I think come to the right decision.
And you don't think it was the right decision?
I don't think it was the right decision. I think they've actually changed the correct decision. I think it was 6 and 2 threes. I think you see that. I think we've seen 4 or 5 incidents much like that in the game, and nothing was given. Seen them in Newcastle's box. Chow was in a couple of battles and tussles.
Well, the winning goal, there was a bit of that. It was 50-50, but
they'll go through spurts now. I mean, there'll be a couple of them at the weekend now as well. This happens all the time. I think it happens at the start of the season.
Yeah, it does.
Where they start picking out and then it goes silent for a couple of months, and then one's awarded and then everyone else gets one and all.
Well, that's the problem with refereeing. It's inconsistencies. People see that. You're saying something that's absolutely correct. You know that there'll be another one given at some point, which is exactly the same, or there'll be not one given, and then that'll be all the headlines. Well, that was given on Tuesday, and it wasn't given on Saturday.
Yeah.
So but for me today, I can't. I think there's underlying trends there for me where I look at the games recently, and I was a lot more worried a month ago than what I am now from what I'm seeing from Newcastle United, even though that's 2 points drop. That's why maybe what happened after the game when we were getting separated would be, I think I was possibly a step ahead in terms of, like, I think in the bigger context, you were really disappointed in the moment. Whereas I was like, look, at the end of the day, in context, a point at home at Tottenham isn't the worst result. And I didn't think it was the worst performance. If they'd stunk the place out and drawn 2s each, what are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking in Jordan's head, he's thinking of his league table. We've lost 2 points on last season, which is what we were talking about possibly in yesterday's video.
Yeah.
So
I'm not mad on that one either. I actually think it is a good judge of a season. But looking at last season when Newcastle United were at this point, they weren't good enough. Like they were miles behind where they should be. This
still
season's
high
a
on
different.
the table, though.
No, but it's a different
closer
season.
table.
Yeah, it's a different season. I mean, they dropped 6 places or something. We're dropping 2 points. They were like 7th or 8th of the table and went down to 13th again. It was like, that's just a sign of the league won't stay like that for very long. By the way, it will
That's
start
what makes it more frustrating.
to split up. But 3 points on Saturday. Let's be realistic. It's 3 points they should get. It would be a bigger disappointment if they did something like this at the weekend, because that's there for the taking. You've got to win on Saturday. You win on Saturday, they'll probably be 8th or 9th going into the derby, and I'm quite comfortable with that compared to where they were even 3 weeks ago, where I didn't see where the season was heading. Whereas now I see, I think they're in the mix. They're on the right side of where they should be, A point's not great, but Tottenham aren't the worst team in the league, although they'll put a day. I'm not disappointed. I am disappointed.
You're looking at the bigger
But I'm
picture.
looking at the bigger picture and thinking, look, it's not a nightmare. It's not a disaster.
Yeah, I just think they were building up ahead of steam, and I think it doesn't halt it completely, but it just sort of plateaus slightly. It's like, well, if you go and win on Saturday, changes things. If you drop points on Saturday, though, it becomes a negative again.
Depending on what Sunderland do, it's conceivable that probably still. Well, if things happen how they should, might well still be ahead of Sunderland going into that Derby game, or at least on level points with them. Maybe a point behind if Sunderland can somehow get a result out of those two games.
Yeah, which you wouldn't
I think
write
if
them
you'd
off, given Man City and Liverpool.
the way the season's gone, if you'd said going into that Derby, just think about that conversation a few weeks ago. If you'd said going to the Derby, you'd be level on points with Sunderland, you'd probably think, oh God, I don't think that'll happen. Because we were miles off it.
Yeah,
and they were playing really well,
points
still are playing really well.
Mm.
Newcastle are absolutely nowhere near where they should be. But I suppose that comes to your point as well, both of you. Like, you know, it's these minor, in such a tight season, these minor moments could be big.
Yeah. So something when you sort of compare to last season, and I mean, you mentioned about sort of an unprecedented run to get yourselves back to where they need to be, and today it could have continued what might have been an unprecedented run, because then you're looking at 3 wins and you've got another home game, so that's at the weekend, that's potentially 4. I mean, Sunderland's a different. It was an opportunity to start winning a run again, which is what they need to do. And to let that sit the day, having led twice, is why the frustration comes from me, because I don't think, given the way they've started the season, they've allowed themselves to drop many points.
Yeah. It's fine margins. Newcastle made Champions League football last season on the finest of margins, and things like that can be the difference. Obviously, we'll wait and see towards the end of the season.
Might do really badly, but I don't think Newcastle United get back in the Champions League this season.
But it could be the difference between a
Not
Euro.
after conceded late at night.
No, I didn't think. I just, from looking at the season as a whole, I don't see a team that looks like it'll finish in the Champions League.
Not because they've not started the season well enough.
I think there's there's 5 teams that are better than them without doubt, in my opinion. It's last season top 4, even though Liverpool aren't the team they were. They're still better than Newcastle, and they'll still be right up there come the end of the season. Aston Villa are flying. Aston Villa are really good this season. So I see 5 teams that will already. I think they're the 5 that will get the Champions League. It's going to be a bit of a fight out for anything beyond that. With Manchester United, probably with Tottenham if they can sort of sort themselves out away from home. With Newcastle United, if they can kind of keep this sort of form up, they'll be up there. I don't know who else. Who am I missing out?
Teams always in and around those places. Sunderland are in around Palace, Brighton, Bournemouth.
Brighton never do it.
Yeah, I mean they got it once. Got Europa once.
No, they might, but I'm saying they never sustain anything.
No.
It takes a good team to sustain a challenge throughout a 38-game season.
Yeah.
And that would be the thing that I would sort of warn anybody, even if Sunderland go and beat Newcastle in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a long season,
yeah.
and there's a lot of water has to go under the bridge. Just look at Nottingham Forest last season, who were far outperforming what Sunderland are doing now, or Palace, or Brighton, far better than any of them this season. Where did they finish? Just scraped in. It's hard. It's not an easy division, and Newcastle are just hanging in there. They need to kick on, and I think they're starting to. I do think they're starting to.
There's been an uptick.
That's what I would say. I mean, as much as frustration is the underlying emotion, I've got to say, based on where Newcastle were, you are seeing a team that is beginning to function.
It is, yeah.
And that's a positive, because they didn't look like a functional team before the international break.
I saw a flawed team tonight, but one that were on the night much better than Tottenham.
Yeah,
who are one of their direct rivals.
Yeah, so. And they will be probably one of the direct rivals come the end of the season. Newcastle played them twice. I thought it was more of a dominant game tonight than what it was when they beat them 2-0 in the cup.
They just lacked control tonight after taking the lead.
Newcastle were better tonight than they were when they beat them 2-0 in the cup.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's fair.
Because it wasn't a dominant performance that night.
No, they were better going forward to a degree, but they weren't better defensively by any means.
I don't think they've been great defensively for a little while now. I can't put my finger on what that is, but I don't think they've been great defensively for a while. I don't think Burns playing particularly well. He won a fair few headers today. Like, he won his headers in the box, but when it comes to big moments, it's
can't play out on the back.
No,
there was a lot of times he'd passed up. He needs to give the ball away. That goes for Joe Linton as well, by the way.
Joe Linton, second half, what was he doing?
I can't believe he stayed on for the full game.
It's him and Jacob Murphy, just Spurs players almost, giving the ball away.
Yeah.
It's another thing as well. Like, if I know It's different because obviously Joe Linton's a big physical player, and given the amount of set pieces that was going to the box, you can head them away. But when you got a player like Jacob Ramsey on the bench and maybe even Joe Willock to some extent, why aren't they coming on? Question for Eddie, maybe.
The Jacob Ramsey thing's an interesting situation.
It really is.
We can come on to that after a few words from the proud Geordie Journal sponsors. Right, all the details down below.
Comply IT Limited. Worrying about disposing of your old IT equipment? Don't be. Comply IT handle everything. Secure collection, detailed tracking, and certified data destruction. That's Comply IT Limited. Four Rivers Financial Planning offer holistic financial advice for all stages of life, ensuring your plan remains robust and adaptable in the ever-changing world we live in. For 21 years, JLM Travel have been offering great deals on package holidays and cruises, plus low deposits and free kids places are available. Branches at Maingate Team Valley and Front Street Wickham. RJ Building Surveyors is a trusted RICS accredited family-run firm with over 15 years of experience specialising in residential surveys and valuations. Based in Yorkshire, their expert services extend nationwide. Whether buying, selling or seeking peace of mind about your home, they've got you covered. So those were our 4 Geordie Journos sponsors. Links in the description below. And if you want to partner up with the Geordie Journos in any way, shape or form, email geordiejournos@gmail.com.
Do get in touch on that front, because there is kind of only a limited amount of spaces that we could have.
Yeah, before it gets a bit silly.
And I'm in negotiations at the moment.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
January deal.
I haven't even told you this.
Oh, okay.
I will talk to you after the event.
Okay.
I mean, I've got to get the deal over the line yet, but I'm working my best. I'll try my best. Bit of negotiating going on. Big day Friday. Big day Friday.
Yeah.
Big day
Okay.
Friday.
Okay. Right.
You need to do the email. Tell them.
No, you already has.
Oh, has he done it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
With loads of enthusiasm.
Exactly. He's 2 for 2 now after yesterday's.
I had a blip on the first one. I couldn't get my words out on the first video yesterday.
So yeah, the game tonight, we touched on it just before. The substitutes, Jacob Ramsey remained on the bench, but the actual players who came on, particularly Bruno, for Sandro Tonali at half-time. Sandro Tonali picked up a knock. Eddie Howe couldn't confirm what the issue was. He said he just couldn't continue. We'll sort of wait and see. Probably get an update on Friday.
He got some free spray on his. Looked like his cough at one point. He got some
he took a couple knocks, to be fair. But then Bruno comes on, makes a difference. Anthony Gordon comes on the left for Harvey Barnes, who I thought was having a decent game. He broke clear, had a few good chances. Anthony Gordon comes on, makes an impact. Both players score the goals. Your thoughts, lads, on the substitutes in general?
Yeah, Bruno, an inspired introduction.
Didn't deserve to be on the drawing side.
Immediately got Newcastle on the front foot, pinging passes out the right hand side. How he managed to find the ability, or technical ability, like the way he sort of curved it out wide a couple of times. Released Anthony Gordon once, I think it was, and I can't remember who that player was, but he got Newcastle on the front foot and scored another big goal for the. It felt like a big goal at the time anyway.
Great finish.
What's it now? He scored against Forest here. Fulham scored some big goals this season.
4 goals. All at the Gallagher.
I think he's having
a last game of the season. He scored here as well. Was it Chelsea?
Yeah.
He's doing well at Tottenham.
Probably having a big
all at the same end as well.
Yeah. Chelsea was that end. Forest was that one. What was the other one you said?
Liverpool. Forest, Liverpool.
Fulham.
Liverpool was the header at that end.
Tonight.
Yeah. Fulham.
It's late on.
At that end. They're all at the Gallagher.
Loves the Gallagher.
Loves it.
Harvey Barnes does too, but not tonight.
But I mean, he gets a bit of stick, Bruno. But I mean, that's a captain taking the game by the scruff of the neck and doing it himself.
I said it before the game. I think he's having his best season by some distance.
He thinks he is as well. He said that.
I think he's. Did he? I know,
individually, yeah.
Yeah, well, I agree with him. I think he's more consistent this season than I've ever known him. He's quite often has ins and outs, drops out the games altogether. I think he's hitting a level of consistency now. I thought he grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. What he gave Newcastle, what the loss with Tonali was the defensive shield. Bruno doesn't give you that, but he does give you a lot more control in getting a hold of the ball and being able to move it around and create opportunities and openings and push defenses and midfields back into their own box. What they missed Tonali in that final 10 I thought that final sort of whatever it was at the end of the game,
Yeah.
where he would have hoovered some things up and he would have been helping them get the ball out. They didn't have that. They missed that. That's why they complement each other. You can't. It's hard to do one without the other because Bruno gives you so much more in an attacking sense, but Tonali gives you. He's just the shield and the cover elsewhere, but he doesn't give you that. He doesn't give you the cute passes and the clever bits and opening things up, moving players around. Tonali doesn't do that. Bruno does. You need them both in the same team for Newcastle to be really at their best. I think if both started today and played the full game, Newcastle would have won comfortably.
With Lewis Miley in there as well.
Yeah,
it was a midfield 3-1 to see,
what I want to
wasn't it?
see, and I hope Tonali's alright, but it doesn't look like we're going to see that midfield. I think Miley was good again today. Had a couple of opportunities. You think he maybe could have done better. I'll not hold that against him. I'm pleased that he's getting in the right places because I think he can do that. He strikes a good ball. I was disappointed he wasn't on set pieces from the start because he was excellent the other day. But no, it's good. I was pleased with Miley. I was really pleased. Lewis Hall for me is always outstanding.
He was brilliant in the first half, particularly. And
it was good for Gordon. I was really pleased to see Gordon score. It's a shame it wasn't the kind of redemption story that you'd hoped it would be.
Yeah.
But look, they needed it. They needed the goal no matter what to even rescue a point because those set pieces were still going to come at the end. And Newcastle just didn't. For a big team, I don't think they're the best defensively at set pieces, and it's costing them quite a lot this season. They need to work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just on Anthony Gordon, yeah, he played a role in the first goal as well. It was his burst down the left-hand side, plays it in. Nick Voltemada, unselfish, lays it off to Bruno. So, step in the right direction for Anthony Gordon. His first Premier League goal since January as well.
Yeah.
So
I was pleased for him. Yeah. But we're going to come on to it.
The players who sort of remained on the bench was Jacob Ramsey, getting a 5-minute call. Jacob Ramsey remained on the bench again, Joe Willock as well. So we touched on it before that ad break. Jacob Ramsey seems to have fallen down the pecking order a little bit. Seems to be the spare man in that midfield. Joe Willock's almost moved ahead of him in recent games.
Yeah, I think you'll have to ask questions about what's going on there. Not saying he won't. Eddie Howe seems to back him. He says he'll be a good player for the team.
It's not a confidence booster.
It's offered nothing.
Yeah, it hasn't.
It's offered nothing. They signed him for, 45 million this summer? 40 million?
Yeah, 39 rising to 42 apparently.
Yeah.
He's offered nothing.
Yeah.
It's fair to say, and that's not saying he won't offer.
It's not exactly an endorsement if he's leaving on the bench to what he's doing behind the scenes. No, that's speculative, but if he's not getting games, what isn't he showing in training?
When Eddie Howe is rotating the midfield and showing he will drop key players like Sandro Tonali, he did against Everton, like Bruno did tonight.
Not drop.
Drop in the sense that drop to the bench. Yeah. But Jacob Ramsey can't get a look in, whereas Joe Willock starting against Marseille. Lewis Miley started the last two.
Was that not show you that Joe Willock's probably doing more? He
probably is. He works hard, he brings energy, Joe Willock. He just lacks the quality at times.
Eddie Howe was always big on training and his answers when we asked about players.
Yeah,
and for me, reading in between the lines, Jacob Ramsey mustn't be doing enough because if not, what is the reason why he isn't playing? Question.
Oh. Jacob Ramsey's had enough.
Get the light back on.
That's the second post-game running we've been...
lights out in my opinion.
I think that just means we've got to shut it down.
Yes.
He's one we're gone now.
Yes.
We're nearly done, mate.
Get out.
Right. Are you teasing another video? You seem to be talking as if you're going to do another video, or you're not?
We'll do one on Friday.
Yeah.
Ultimately. If we do another video...
Tease your stories then. Because people will be getting this tomorrow.
Well, we did it in our video yesterday because we spoke to David Hopkinson, the Newcastle CEO, and Ross Wilson.
The proper stuff's not coming out tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, the sporting director.
Thursday.
Is it not tomorrow?
Thursday. So we'll have the stories and the sort of fallout from that, the comments from that over on the Shields Gazette for myself, Newcastle World from Jordan on Thursday. So check that out. And we'll probably touch on it in our Friday video. Any other video will be a bonus if we end up doing it.
That's a lot. You've done a lot.
Work hard.
I've done a lot.
Never after Leverkusen?
I've done a lot. Oh,
you've worked hard.
He's worked hard. You've worked hard.
Cheers.
Right. Close it out, Dom.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or not? I shall carry on. He's trying to
No. That's fine.
I think.
Yes, we've got to go. So that was our Geordie Journal's review fallout from Newcastle United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2 in the Premier League. We'll be back, myself and Jordan, at Eddie Howe's press conference on Friday ahead of the match against Burnley. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe and ring the bell for all your latest Geordie Journos content.